basically the way I like to do these things, obviously kind of sucks that not everybody's here, but it's not a big deal. I think what I like to do is I kind of like to have a collaboration between what you guys feel like you need in terms of just general structural communications, Q&A. Everybody gets their 2 cents worth on what you guys think you guys are missing in terms of as a unit. And then we look over some gameplay, and then I answer those questions, and we kind of just like do a big hurrah, because obviously like I'm here to answer as many questions as I can, but obviously it's going to be really helpful for me to get a little bit more insight about what's going on behind the scenes. So you guys are a Plat Diamond team that's competing in a tournament soon, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what tournament is this and when is it?
Tranquility.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And when is that?
It starts August 24th.
Okay, August 24th, so not too far away. How long you guys been together as a team?
As a team, like this core right now, about 2 months.
Okay.
But some of us have been together for like 7 months.
Okay, so you guys have been a unit for a while, people coming in, coming out, but the recent core is more like the last 2 months. All right,
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are trying to get coaching to perform a little better in this tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. So what do you hope to get out of the session? Obviously, let me get everybody's name here. Let's starting with BDG. What would you prefer me to call you? That work for you?
Yeah, BDG's fine.
BDG, what rank and role are you with the team?
I'm their coach.
Okay.
I'm just here to listen.
Okay, you're the old man. Welcome to club.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Dibs, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Rank role?
I'm unfortunately deranking to like gold right now,
Okay.
but I'm peaking like plat. I'm hit scan and
Okay.
tracer specialist.
Plat hit scan / tracer specialist. Yeah. Right on. Okay. And then I'm not gonna even try.
It's Jangles.
Jangles. Okay, that works. Phonics let me down. I didn't recognize all those symbols. Jangles, and your position?
I'm the lead of the team, and I'm the second DPS. I specialize in all the off stuff. So
right.
Hanzo, May.
Got it. All the fun DPS.
Yeah.
Got it. And then your rank?
I just hit Diamond 3.
Nice, congratulations. Not like one of those hard stuck gold trash, am I right? Or is it too soon, Dibs? Okay, really quick. So rest of the roles of the team, obviously they're not going to be here necessarily, but just like to kind of get an idea. So we got our DPS situated, we got our coach. What's tank like for you guys?
So we've got Meested, who is our dive tank, and then we have Cyrano, who is our he's our Rhine, and kind of plays some Ramatra.
Yeah,
like Brawl poke.
Brawl
poke. Yeah. Okay. And then ranks for each of those guys, approximately.
Diamond.
I think mine's
2,
like Diamond 2 or 3, and Cyrano's like
gold.
Currently coming out of gold, I think he's like gold 3, 2.
Okay, sounds good. And then support line.
So we've got the 2 supports. We've got one is an Ana Lucio player. The other is Kiriko and Zen.
Okay.
And they're both have touch masters, but have gotten down into low diamond.
Got it.
High plat.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So what got you guys together as a team? Is this just like an ELO Hell competitive Overwatch LFT? You guys just dug around and found people that like-minded wanted to grind for this tournament, or how did it all work together?
It's just been kind of a hodgepodge of like we started and we kind of fell apart, and then like I wanted to get like pretty serious because I've been doing the team organized play since like season 13 of Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
So I had an itch to do it again, and so this is my 4th team that I've either been or ran.
So you're like team lead as well as playing on the team as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Meested. Is that Meested?
It's Meisted, yes. Hello.
Meisted. Okay, Meisted. Okay. And you are the Diamond Dive Tank, correct?
Yep.
They were talking major crap. I had your back. Don't worry.
It's okay.
Okay, so I think we're good here. So obviously, Jangles, you filled out the form, no?
Yes.
Right, so you're gonna have your thoughts on this, but ultimately, I kind of like going down the list of not getting to just know your name and your rank, but like I want to know what you guys think is the wrong with the team. Like, what's the major wrong? Not just all the little details, but like the major one or two things that needs to be addressed. So, let's start with the big mouth, BDG. You got the outside perspective, right? So if you had to pick like one or two things, whether it's communication, macro understanding, somebody's just got the worst attitude in the history of the universe. What are like the low hanging fruits? What are the priorities for you?
I would definitely say communication. I feel like there are a lot of moments where we just kind of go like radio silent. We just kind of die, and then nothing happens.
Okay, so when you say communication, you're specifically saying like when sometimes things just shut down entirely.
Yeah.
Is that more of a tilt thing? I mean, what do you think?
I think it can go both ways. I think sometimes there are moments where we kind of tilt and then we just like just go silent, but I also just think as a team we're not used to communicating. Okay.
And then is there anything else big priority that comes along to mind, or is that the main one?
I think that would probably be the main one.
Okay.
If anything, I think maybe just like fight planning or like ult planning.
Yeah, got it. Planning and ult planning. All right. Writing all this down so when we wrap this up, I'll have something to type to at least Jangles to share with the rest of y'all. Okay, so Dibs. What are your thoughts? You can echo if you've heard something else, but creativity points is great too. It's up to you.
I mean, really the same thing. I think our positioning is like really needs a lot of work in our like pre-fight planning.
Got it.
Our comms, like I agree with what BDG said. Like our comms are kind of just off at points. Like we just don't talk to each other at all after a while. I don't think it's a tilt thing. I agree. It's just like a we're not used to it thing maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's weird.
Okay, and then you said positioning because that's a super vague issue. Yeah. Talk to me about that.
Like we just sometimes we'll play like too far back on points and just give up completely unnecessary space and lose fights because of it.
Okay.
Or like we'll just play off in wrong ways or play too far up or too far back. We split too much as a team. Okay. And I think that like actually needs to get.
Can you give me an example, just like one example from your recent memory, maybe in a scrim or something like that? If not, it's fine.
I don't remember any offhand. I think at one point on King's Row we did it.
Yeah.
On first point, like we just stayed. I think we stayed back too much. I can't remember off the top of my head.
All right. Worth it, like
it's just like basic like that on most maps.
Got it. Jangles.
To add on to all this, I would say probably pathing and rotations.
Okay.
And when to know a fight has been lost or won, and when to chase or to pull back.
Yeah. Anything else?
Rotations of abilities, like knowing when we're going to be using our abilities, so that way we're not overusing resources.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Can you give me an example of a rotation or a pathing where you feel like there's like, okay, come on, we gotta be better than this?
Yeah, so like as anytime that I'm playing May, putting my walls in the correct place so that way I don't unintentionally make a path wrong for us, or I cut off our path.
Got it. Okay. And then Meisted?
You're asking me what like
Your big like, I don't know, what's wrong with you guys? Or not even what's wrong, but like what's the next step you think?
What do we need to work on?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess the main thing, I'm a main tank player, so ego is high, but I think if I were to say, it would probably just be playing together. Like, I mean, yesterday it was a lot better than it normally is. We definitely were playing out of our mind a little bit. Comms were better. We definitely like knew who was supposed to be talking, who wasn't supposed to be talking a lot. But I think just playing like this, dive is a little bit better, but Brawl mainly, and a little bit of dive is just knowing which targets to choose.
Yep.
And knowing like on specifically our DPS, what characters to play, like what characters we're playing, how to play like with our tank on that character, because every character plays a little bit different.
True.
With every tank.
Yeah.
Like with like specifically Reaper with Rom and like May with Rhine. Characters like that, like I'm listing Brawl tanks. But just positioning with those frontline supporters can lack a little bit because we just don't walk sometimes.
Yeah.
And without that frontline pressure, it's kind of hard to. I'm getting a little bit too detailed. Basically,
no. I mean, it's okay. Like, I mostly like I might pick up on something from you being detailed. So go ahead.
Yeah. Just playing together on Brawl, and then honestly, I can't even I wanted to talk about our dive because that's what I'm here for. But like our dive yesterday was really good.
Okay.
Like, I guess if I was to say something about dive, it'd be Jangles positioning aggressively. But like he started doing that.
Okay.
Like really good.
What did you guys do really well yesterday? Just out of curiosity.
Communication was immaculate. It was like we were target calling. We played a lot of dive yesterday, and Jangles was like Jangles was kind of leading the charge because he's on the Sombra. Whatever he hacks dies. And I'd be like, Jangles would be like, "You guys ready?" And then I'd do the count, and whatever we were on would disintegrate, and it was clockwork every time. Unfortunately, we played into Pharah, and I wouldn't swap D.Va until the end, so that was an issue. But like we kind of just target focused really well. Like it was like the communication was there, and then the things we did bad yesterday was probably just. Whenever communication slipped, we kind of got uncomfortable with each other. Like we stopped feeling like a team. And once you stop talking, once things kind of like die down, like you lose a fight or two, communication slips and then you all just kind of get scared.
Yeah, it kind of snowballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me one second.
That's kind of going back to what...
Give me 1 minute. Be right back. Hang on.
No worries.
So nervous right now. I'm shaking. I'm kidding.
Just starts crying.
It's not you, Spillo.
Don't worry, you're on a record.
Okay, sorry about that. Continue.
Come back.
Yeah, just like what we did good yesterday was communication, playing together specifically on dive.
Why do you think that
or
is?
Brawl.
Like, why
I think Jangles literally it was like mostly Jangles and Dips. Like either they played together or they had like a romantic interaction at home or something. They like their souls intertwined, and like I was able to follow up because like dive is my thing.
Yeah.
And so it was like mainly really I'm giving it to Jangles because he plays Sombra, and Sombra Tracer in this meta is really gross.
Yeah.
So he really led the charge on that, and just him telling us what he wanted to kill and positioning for it was all we really needed. We were able to move fast. And our positioning was much better on Jingles and Dibs. We all just like I was holding space while they off-angled and positioned to use their abilities to get in.
Makes sense.
As soon as we were ready, it was a real positioning thing.
Now I got to be that guy, Jingles. What happened?
I actually slowed my play down.
Interesting.
Like I was really aware of my ability usage. And not trying to get out of position or overextending as I could tend to do with Sombra.
Okay.
And not coming back to the team and thinking I can get out whenever I can get out. So
interesting. Yeah, I mean it's crazy how like such simple things can just like completely revolutionize it. Like the problem and the good thing is both the good and the bad thing about the team environment is how much of an impact a single person can have, right? Especially just doing the right thing, being consistent, communication, attitude, doing whatever is your responsibility and doing it consistently. So when I ask all these questions, obviously it's like I'm looking for details, but I'm also kind of wanting you guys to say out loud things that you may or may not have impact on. So for example, when you guys are telling me, oh yeah, we got communication issues, well, I'm glad we're all on the same page, but do you guys need me to tell you guys what's wrong with the communication? I can give you guys, and I will give you guys insight about what you can be doing better. but also it's going to be kind of up to you guys to kind of like get in these calls, be like, hey, what's going wrong? What do we need to be doing better? And for you guys on your own, self-sufficiently, to be able to make those adjustments. You know, Jangles, you figured it out, right? On one meta and one situation. So who's it going to be for your Brawl comp? Who's it going to be for your Ram comp? Who's going to be for your Spam comp or Pharah comp or whatever you guys do in the next 2 months? You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's just, if nothing else you learned today, just like taking a little bit of responsibility about what you need to be doing is so important. And the funny thing is like, you don't even need a ton of communication to make it work. So like one of the big things I talk about in team sessions is like when you guys talk about communication issues, all right? So it just goes silent. What needs to be called in a dive?
Target.
What else?
Countdown.
In position. Are we in position?
Sure. But and that's pretty much it, right? Like at least at the base level. There's not a lot more than that. So when we say we want our communication to be better, we're not necessarily talking about reading the dictionary, right? It's just a couple of things. In fact, some of you guys might not need to be saying much. It might just be a few of you guys need to talk, right? So a lot of people get this impression that like when we talk about communicating more, everyone needs to be talking more. No. You just need to know what you need to call, and you need to call it, and that's it. It doesn't matter if you feel good. It doesn't matter if you feel bad. It doesn't matter if you're confident or not confident, or you had a bad day or a good day. Nobody cares. Just call what you need to call, and that's it. You don't need to be chatty Cathy. You don't need to be cute. You just need to do your job.
I would say maybe then it could be an over communication. So
Okay.
I know that I have missed calls because Overwatch, there's so much going on,
right?
That I know I've missed really critical calls because there's way too much going on.
Okay.
Just in a general sense.
Give me an example. You don't have to name any names, but give me an example.
So like there's been times where it's like Brawny, our Ana player, he's called Nano for something, and I miss it just because I'm in the middle of the fight on the DPS. I just don't hear it.
Right. And that's important too, right? Like that's why you got to trim the fat. You got to know what we got to call and call that and tune out the noise, right? That's why sometimes the most communication you're going to hear from a lot of people are in the pre-fight planning phase when they're calling their ultimates or where they want position. And then from then on out, it's just pretty quiet, right? So what we'll need to do is obviously we won't be able to tell everything from a replay code, but is this replay code, the replay codes you sent me relatively recently, Jangles?
It was last night.
Okay, perfect. So then you guys are going to be able to remember, hey, I remember what was being called at that point in time. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we can kind of work at that. So because the big thing is planning stage is, if you guys want the bare bones, right? The ult track, you plan around that ult track, including your ultimates, and then you execute your dive. And whether that dive is a dive, or whether that's just a brawl dive or a spam dive, like where are we holding? I don't care what it is. We're just timing our engage. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's really all it is to it. There's a lot of nuance in there, and like scouting calls and cooldown calls and all that kind of stuff. But that's your big picture stuff. That stuff has to be done. Okay. Do you guys have any questions so far?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
So.
One last question before we maybe look at some gameplay here is, how often do you guys scrimmage? I'm looking at this voice channel. Is it weekly?
It's
once
twice.
a week normally.
We do it twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. That's good. Goal for you guys will always be to have a goal going into each game, each scrim. Whether that's a team goal, individual goals, whatever. Doesn't need to be complicated. It can be a different goal every week. It can be a goal every 2 weeks or every different scrim. Doesn't matter. But just keeping it simple. Okay. You guys have anything else before we look at some gameplay here?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Let's
Which what map are we looking at?
Oasis, Coliseum are the ones you sent me. What one do you guys want to start with?
Let's
Probably
start with
Coliseum. I didn't play on that one. So.
Alrighty, so let's do Q6. I'll get the stream started in just a second. EWRH. Okay, let's see this here.
Actually, I will say one thing. I was not able to make it to scrim on the scrim to like coach. I have scrims on my own on Thursdays that I'm not able to make. So, but I did Overwatch watch over.
Yeah.
Last night.
Okay, sounds good. What were your takes of what you saw?
Honestly, like they played a lot better than they have been the past few weeks. I think there was still definitely like some coordination issues in terms of like I would say like our like TP usage, like sometimes it would be just our sim taking TP, sometimes it would be our whole team. So, and then there were some fights where we would just kind of split off from each other, and then it would just kind of turn into chaos. But overall, the scrim, like, it seemed like we were playing a lot better, which I was happy to see.
Okay, well, good. We'll take a look then. All right, let's take a look here. So, really quickly, what's the purpose of y'all's composition? Like, what makes it tick? Like, don't over sweat the matchup, like what they're running. I don't care what type of brawl they're running. How do you guys work? What happens?
Well, with this comp, we've been using the TP to teleport behind and then pounce on whoever's in the back line that's weak.
Sure.
So Ana, McCree, anybody that doesn't have any mobility, specifically because we have the Lucio, and we just rush onto them.
Sure. Makes sense. Let me draw you guys a diagram really fast, actually. I'm going to have to stop stream and start again, so it might be a little funky. It can be a little weird to get the whole... Like, you might have to, like, click on my face or something to, like, get it to work. Okay, let me know if you guys are able to see that.
I can see it.
I can see.
Alrighty. So, big thing is this, alright? So, when we're talking about, like, what does your brawl accomplish? You look at your teleporter, you look at your Reaper, you go, alright, so there's different ways that we can approach this. We can group up as a unit and just rush people down, yeah? Reaper Sim, a lot of frontline pressure. You guys got that? Easy peasy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Focus the target. Everybody 3, 2, 1. We go in. We don't even necessarily kill somebody off of the first push. We just get a lot of cooldowns, maybe burn their shield HP, get some advantages, get a corner, get some space, and so on. Okay, that's one option, all right? Let's move on to a second option. What's another option? You guys, obviously the first thing you guys said when I asked you. What's the other option?
TP behind them.
TP behind them. So what ends up happening is you just end up TPing your entire unit behind. There's your other option. Now there's another option. There's actually like 2 more, at least, other options that you guys can do. What's another engage option that you guys can do? For example, if you're looking to take, like, just say a quote-unquote neutral fight, no ultimates, how do you win a fight? What are the strengths of your composition that you guys can leverage? Bap, Lucio, Ryan, nothing very creative, but you got 2 creative DPS. How do you utilize those?
Sim Beam.
Sim Beam, okay. We already talked about that one. Frontline pressure. What's the other thing Sim can do? You guys are talking about a team TP. How about this? How about we have a solo Sim flank while the rest of the team pushes forward with the Reaper Ryan pressure? You guys got me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could use TP, but you can only have one person take the TP, so the rest of the team can push forward on the brawl. So you have a 2-pincered approach, and then your Symmetra can just teleport out, which gets pressured. This engage right here was when there was a Symmetra brawl mirror in Overwatch League. This is very, very, very popular. This is a really popular, very strong playstyle. BAP is very easy to pressure as Sim. You can set up a TP bomb. You can charge a right-click step to the thing. Bam, bam, bam. Then just teleport right back out again. Sometimes that's more pressure than just beating the Rhine shield. You guys got that? Okay.
And then sometimes even using that as a existing, like, she just exists.
Yeah, you just throw the teleporter, you don't even use it. It's just a distraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. Now there's a fourth. Okay, I don't know what these arrows are doing, but let's just leave it as that. Okay. So what's the fourth playstyle? Again, think about your DPS.
I mean, there's always teleport the tank.
Teleport the tank. Yeah.
Or teleport the other DPS. Or
yeah. Well, yeah. The other DPS already has a teleport.
Yep.
Right. So you got the Reaper going here and doing the exact same thing that your Symmetra is doing, but this time he's the one going for the flank instead of your Symmetra going for the flank. And really, you could even go. Let's just say this is 1 flank. This one, let's say 2 flanks. You could have your Reaper and your Symmetra on the back line, and your Rhine pushing here. And now you're talking about like hell for their back line, right? This is it right here. 2 heroes that have get out of jail free cards with frontline pressure. This is brutal. Now, this is just the neutral, right? This is just the neutral. So my point being is that all of these plays can work, but all of these plays demand precise timing, right? If you're pushing frontline, 3, 2, 1, push. If you're doing a TP, obviously requires precise timing. If you're looking for a single flank from your Reaper Symmetra teleport, just from that guy, obviously very precise timing. If you're doing 2 flanks, obviously very precise timing. You guys kind of get the picture here, right? So let's tie this in with your communication. Tie this into our dive communication. What do you guys need to make play 1 work? What kind of communication?
Go.
That's it, right? Everybody ready? Go, right? Not hard. So number 1, we just go 1. That's it. Okay. What about number 2? What do you need?
That's a countdown.
Yeah, same kind of a countdown. Same kind of thing though as similar to number 1, right? Same kind of thing. All right, everybody ready? Okay, here we go. That's it. Maybe a target focus after that. All right. What about number 3?
That's a pre-fight plan, I feel like.
But it's still a timing call, right? So who do you think should call the timing for this push?
I think it's going to be the Sim.
Yeah, right. Or if it's your other DPS, your Reaper, right? I mean, this is just one flank. It could be either one, right? What about this one? What kind of communication?
That's got to be between the DPS.
That it sure is, right? But you guys are noticing something. At least in these plays, I don't need my supports talking. And heck, I don't even necessarily need my tank talking with all of these, right? It needs to be the person executing the timing. That's the call, and we make the call happen. Now, this is going to get really crazy. You guys are about to whip out like the 7th color I've used. You guys ready for this one? There's something very unique about this playstyle. Remember, we talked about target focus. Everybody's in the same target 1 at a time. What do you guys notice about these 2 plays in terms of target focus?
It seems it plays
Completely
a lot
different.
like how a Tracer would.
Yes.
By going into the back line and making the supports turn around so that way they're not focused on the front line.
Correct. You're going to notice something. The more that you guys spread, the less likely you're going to be on the same target. But the more important proper timing is going to be. You see, it's not hard for everybody to be in the same timing here because everyone's grouped up. Obviously, we're all going to go out together, right? But as soon as you guys start to factor in, we might be split using mobility cooldowns, flanking, and so on, then timing gets to be even more important, but it's a lot harder. You guys get what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's a lot more flexibility with target focus. Like your Symmetra might be, a Reaper might be in a totally different target than your front line. And the same thing goes with this right here, right? What you're doing is you're doing a war of chaos is what you're going for. Not necessarily going to burn one person, but you're going to cause just complete chaos that somebody's going to die. And it might be backline, it might be Ram, it might be Ryan, heck, Lucio might get caught in the crossfire. We don't even know. Does all this make sense?
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying here is that tying this into your Sombra dive stuff is really, in a very complicated, fast-paced game, you should try to simplify this as much as possible. Because all of these, crazy scribbles aside, all this really is who is calling the timing of the player push that we're going for. And then making the call and going as a team. And that's it. That's all you need to do. If you guys really, really, really like this play right here, great. If you let's use another color. Why not? If you guys really like this play right here, great. If you think that this play is really good when they got a squishy backline, I agree. Great. If you think that this play is really, really great because your Reaper flanking is OP, great. But it all has to be together. It all has to be together. Right. It has to be the person that needs to make the call, makes the call. That's it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So all we have to do is that, obviously, even if we're just doing these teleport plays, like I'm encouraging you guys to expand your game just a little bit, right, with the plays here. However, if we're talking about team play and communication, you guys could do the same play over and over and over again. But if it's timed well, we're happy to see it. So like right now, what kind of play are we going for right now?
It's like the Sim is kind of flanking.
Yeah, Sim's kind of flanking, right? It doesn't have to be exactly like we drew it up, but yeah, we're kind of taking a 2v1 over here, forcing Reaper Wraith while the rest of us are pushing right. What do you guys think? Is this good team play, bad team play, decent team play? What do you guys think?
It works. It forces the Reaper off the flank, forces cooldowns, and it's a run.
Right.
1v1.
It's at least an equal exchange, right? Because you got Lucio helping the Reaper, Lucio helping the Symmetra, but you guys won this trade. And it looks like you guys are winning this trade too because that Cassidy is too far away. So it looks like, at least on paper, oh, this is bad team play, guys. But it's actually fine as long as you guys were on the same time, right? But you guys can kind of see how difficult it can be when people start to take angles, right? So, all right. It's going to be a real test, and that's it, right? Why was that Lucio not speeding his Reinhardt?
Because he had to carry his Reaper.
Right. So if you play to your hero's strengths, like, hey, I'm on Sim, I can take a flank, I'm pretty good at that, right? At least in a Brawl mirror, you're pretty good at it. Then there you go. You don't have to do the TP play for it to work. Nice lamp. That's pretty terrifying. Okay. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it go and let it roll. And you guys will tell me, like, what was our communication like at that point in time. All right, let's... Okay, there's more Reaper Wraith. Kind of letting
I called that TP.
Yeah. I know you guys are just kind of poking here. Nothing's really, no real engage here. Now, okay, let's stop right here. Especially because Jangles, Dibs, you guys are both in the voice call here. You guys are the Giga Chads right now, right? So, no ults. And honestly, kind of a positional disadvantage, right? Like, we all know how this goes. So, what are our options here? What play? 1, 2, 3, 4? I mean, they're all technically options, but what do you guys think? Let's start with you, Dibs. What do you think?
I think as a team, it would be better to just TP on the Kree that just
Why?
is on. Because he's just like their main damage.
Well, that's always the case, right?
Yeah, like I feel like we're just supposed to be looking at like main damage and heals.
That
so
works
if we
for me.
Go up to bridge, we're completely getting away from their tank. Like,
that's it right there.
Yeah,
that's it right there. That's it right there. Because the reason why this play works is because it's fine to do it like whenever, right? But it's especially good because the TP completely negates 1% of the battlefield. He's completely split, right? That's a great recognition from you right there. All right. Yeah. So that's probably the best play that you guys could do. I think it was 2, the number 2, right? I think. But you guys could do a number 1 push, right, on tank line. How would that look? Pretty simple, right?
Walk him down.
3, 2, 1, walk on Rhine, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not the best, but if we can get our Reaper close, Symmetra within beam range, heck, maybe even our Rhine just holds shield, right? That's gonna be good. All right. What about 3 solo DPS flank? What do you guys think? Jangles, what do you think?
If I'm remember correctly, the room on the right where the large health pack is, you can come up through there and come up through where the healers are.
You can, yeah. If you guys had set that up ahead of time, possibly something you could have done here. Set like a turret in here and spam some right clicks right here, and then you could TP out if you need to. That you would have been a total nuisance. Okay.
The
what
other
about
one
you?
would be go on the Reaper.
Yeah,
that would be the other
yeah.
one.
You could do that too. Dibs, do you see any TP options for you as a Reaper here?
I could force the height like on their right.
You could
the window and just poke down on them because if she goes to sleep, I just back up and it's not gonna hit me at all.
Yeah. Here's another whack one, right?
What? Just get out.
TP to here, shoot the Rhine in the back.
Yeah, make him turn around.
Right,
to my team.
right. You don't even necessarily need to TP in the back line. You just get an off angle on the Rhine where they can't shoot you, and it makes them really hard for them to play. All right, what about 4? What about double DPS? What do you guys think?
Oh, we're going on the healers.
Yeah, you sure could,
100%.
right? You sure could. Now, it would be really scary. You might need your Lucio to come with you or something like that, but it's worth a shot. So I still think 2 is best, right? I think a total team TP here is a really good option. Let's see what you guys do. Now, I'm flexible, right? Everybody's flexible. Let's just see. If we do 1, I don't care. Make it pretty. Okay? And this is it, right? Which one is this? See if you guys recognize it.
Double DPS split.
Double DPS flank, right? It's a 4. It's a weird variation of a 4, but it's a 4. Because even if the Lucio is not here, this Reinhardt is in for a really bad time. Right? And are we timing it well? What do you guys think, team play-wise?
I think so.
I think so too. I think so too. I think my only problem is who is out of position right now?
The Lucio.
The Lucio. Where should Lucio be? Trick
Should
question.
be with tank. No, he should be with us because we're
Trick
fighting
question.
Lucio.
It doesn't. Okay, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Either one. I could see an argument for both of them, but somebody has to be somewhere. So I guess this is where we really tie into the communication, and this is where we tie into the communication through listening. All right. So you guys remember this, obviously, or at least remember part of this. Maybe was this communicated? This push communicated?
I think I called the Lucio, and I was really noticing that me and Dibs were really listening to each other during this scrim.
But see, calling a target here isn't good enough because that doesn't imply a push. You see, you don't necessarily need to push, but when you do push, like when you use your cooldowns here, because like there's a chance that you're going to get your Wraith forced here, right? There's a chance that you're going to get your Lamp forced here or your Amp forced here and so on. You guys are taking what I would call an engage, right? Doesn't mean you're hard committing, but you are pushing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That needs to be called. It doesn't mean that we're diving all the way in. We're going to die or we're going to kill them. There's nothing in between. But you're at least going to soft push. You're going to peek. You're going to pressure a little bit. And if those aren't called, then you're not giving your Lucio a chance to help. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who could call this, by the way? This is another trick question. Who should call this?
Probably the DPS.
Could be. Who else could call it?
Tank.
Tank can call it too, right? Because who's pushing here? Everybody basically but the backline, right? Heck, if your Lucio is a Chatty Cathy, Lucio could call it too, right? Like, I don't care. Like, if you guys are in a position to push, and it's not exactly like your Reaper Sim need a long time to set up here, then anybody can call this, but this has to be called because this is okay, but it hurts my heart that my Lucio is not in position to help here. Because my Lucio could boop the Reaper away, he could boop the Cassidy in, he could boop the Lucio in, he could boop like, there's so much. Instead, he's shooting a Reinhardt, right? And there you go, like, you know, we take what we can get, but, you know, miss is as good of a mile, at least in our concern. And that's it right there, right? Why was that Reaper not booped? Why did my Symmetra not get more value on her flank? You guys see what I'm saying? And it's that simple. Like, we can look at this and definitely we could look at the micro, but I promise you it doesn't matter as much as just what needed to happen there. Is all this making sense, by the way, guys?
Yep.
Okay. And you notice that's very simple. You could pick the play, somebody calls the timing, we look for the push, we look for the rotation, and you guys need to be able to do that in your sleep. Like, it needs to be almost automatic because you've practiced it so much. Okay, now this is when things get really juiced. All right, so our ult track is accurate, right? Surely. Ult track, fight plan. What do you think? Oh, and by the way, to make things easier,
our fight plan.
To make things easier, your fight plan can dictate whether you choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. Right? What do you guys think?
I'm saying, was that 4?
They have Shatter, so split up.
Sure. Works for me. What about 1? How does 1 look?
Well, the Ana's out of line of sight, so that'd be actually pretty good.
Okay. Look at your ults. What do you got?
Window, and you got a wall coming up.
Shatter mid-fight.
Sim wall, window, both very good 1 ultimates, right? Just walking forward, shield pressure, controlling their tank, right? You could 1 and then do a late 3 with your sim on a TP off of wall. Yeah. You guys kind of see what I'm saying though, right? There's options here.
Yeah.
The question is what are you going to decide, and are we going to actually execute off of that? But I like the fact that you guys were calling 4 because of Shatter. That's a heads up. The question though is, are you able to factor in their ultimates and your ultimates? And obviously there's a lot of factors here. So just make it simple. You know what? They got Shatter, guys. Let's split up. That's good enough. It doesn't have to be the perfect play. So let's see. What do we do? Disaster. Right? This is a 2, yeah?
Yep.
But where the frick is my Lucio?
He jumped down before the fight actually happened.
Right. But again, was this communicated in advance?
Yes.
Okay, so whose fault is this?
That's the Lucio.
And that's it. Is that a team play issue? No, that's your Lucio's issue. Sometimes it's not that deep. Okay, let's see. Now, what do you guys think about this fight plan? Let's say your Lucio takes a TP. What do you guys think about this fight plan?
We would have collapsed a lot faster, and the Ana would be dead.
I think so too. I think it's cute. Let's see what we got. Good sim wall. What's the play now?
Grab the bot.
Yeah.
Now we just like
Basically
rush
just
on.
1. Yeah.
Just another run. So we kind of just
chill.
let it go.
Yeah. I mean, when we say 1, it doesn't always necessarily mean like we push. Even a 3 or a 4 doesn't necessarily mean a push or it just means that we're gonna take the engage here. We're gonna group up. We're gonna shoot. We're gonna wall. We're gonna whittle down that Rhine shield. Grab robot. Looks good. Looks good to me, right? Now, you guys see it? Yeah. We gotta stay together. Now, we don't have to stay together. What could your Symmetra do from this?
You
I
could
was trying
stay
to get
there.
back.
Yeah,
I remember this. I remember this because I was like, guys, I'm split.
you could stay split, but that staying split would mean that your team is fighting here, right? Not backing up. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You got to stay in the same page. Oh, you're screwed. Maybe?
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you know what? Honestly, at this point, now you just live. You just live. Yeah. Now you just live. Now you just wait. Because now what do we have here, guys? What number?
Now we've got a It's a 2.
A 3.
3.
It's a
Yeah,
3.
it's
Yeah.
a 3. It's a solo flank. I'm gonna make you guys memorize all these numbers. The reason I'm using the numbers, by the way, just because it's easy to remember.
There's a test at the end, right?
Solo DPS flank. Yeah, solo DPS flank. Right. This is, and you know what, guys? This is ironically not even that bad now. As long as Jingles plays it really carefully and doesn't get pushed. If you guys can kind of sync up here, I mean. There's no way. There's no way. But look at why he dies. With the fire strike. He gets hit.
Oh.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
You guys see it? You guys are reinventing the wheel. You're creating a new
Ankles,
brawl.
dude.
I'm telling you. But the thing is like, I want the main takeaway here to not be like, oh, you should be always flanking with Symmetra necessarily. I'm just saying that like that there was an accidental kind of bit of cohesion here, right? This is good. What should you be calling at this point, Jangles? Like really, like calling at this point. Like even further, like back, like let's say once you go for the TP, you can't get out. Crap, I'm stuck. What should be the call?
I mean, I'm just gonna keep pushing. I'm just gonna stay back here.
Yeah. And if you see them starting to move towards you, what should you call? Because you see now they're the ones engaging. You guys haven't. They're the ones engaging. So what should you call to keep your timing good as a team?
My initial gut reaction is to like TP towards the team as best as I can.
Sure. But you just
Or
need to
maybe-
tell them. Is my point. You just need to let them know. If you guys want to be like, yeah, screw Jangles, he's a sim player, doesn't deserve our attention, and just get as much robot push as you can, that's fine too. But as long as everybody's on the same page here, right? What I would hate to see is Reinhardt goes flying in to save Jangles, and everyone else is just like, you know what I'm saying, guys? Like, either we leave Jangles or we help Jangles. There's nothing in between. This works awesome. Now, what should we be calling right now? We got to keep our focus, right?
Yeah.
We can't like lose it, right? What could we call? There's options here, right? What are some of those options?
Just group.
Yeah, you can group up, just chill, right? What else could you do here?
We could just TP behind their Ryan, like maybe out to the left and look for Shatter.
Sure could,
Like,
right?
he has his, but if we're far left, what's he gonna do?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're up one here. We've got our TP in about 5 seconds, I think, 6 seconds. We could go for a play here. We could just chill and push robot. We could be going for a TP Death Blossom. Like, guys, there's so many options here. So all I want to see now is everyone's on the same page. I don't care if that same page is slow, or if that same page is fast, or if that same page is a flank. I don't give a rip. What do you guys think about this look right here?
Oh man, that Reaper needs to die.
Yeah,
right now. I
but
mean,
what do you guys think about
so-
your setup? Is this a good setup? Is this like good team play right here?
No.
You sure?
I think Dibs is too far back, but Jangles is on a good flank.
Right. I think this is okay. I just think that maybe Dibs is on robot here and things get a little bit messy. But I don't think this is necessarily bad because, again, do we have 5 people kind of fighting right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the litmus test right there. If you guys want to cut all the crap out of what makes good brawl, 5 people fighting. What makes good spam? 5 people fighting. What makes good dive? 5 people fighting. That's what we have right here. So yes, I could be like, oh, it's a little unfortunate that Dibs is like, I think Dibs you could probably get away with like greeting a little bit here. But yeah, I'm not against this at all. This should be fine. I think you guys should win this fight.
Nice.
Totally fine. Beat for beat, even just to force their beat, keep it alive. And again here, okay, we're at a really dangerous juncture right now. You guys see it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
You know, I don't even have to say what's going on right now. This could be really, really bad. This has to be a really fat shatter, otherwise we're really, I mean, even then I don't know. And this is what happens, right? You guys see it? What went wrong here?
We
Ryan
didn't
pushed
go
up too far.
Did we have 5 people fighting?
No.
No, we didn't. What were our options here? Because you could see 2 options here, right?
We could have either all pushed into them, or we could have just backed up with the robot.
Exactly.
That's what I see.
In
'Cause with
or
this
out?
Bridge area. Yeah.
In or out. You guys did both, and did both terribly. That's the problem here. I mean, look at this Reaper. This Reaper could easily die. Easily die if he had any help whatsoever. We could have easily just completely... Guys, we could have juked the Reaper. We could have pushed in, and he would have TP'd and just completely whiffed, right? That would have worked too. But we did neither. So it's a lot hard to do this. Oh my gosh, there's no way.
Lamau, what the fuck?
That's how he died.
How does that even happen?
That's brutal. Okay.
It's insane.
So anyway, basically the point is it's a lot harder mid-fight when stuff gets messy. But when we talk about staying grouped up as a team, it doesn't necessarily mean grouped up, but staying on the same page. You guys got that? We could do a flank with our Symmetra all the way over here, as long as we're like linked up, right? All right, let's see what's the plan here. Now, is our team play good right now?
Where's Jangles?
I'm underneath.
Jangles is the one wanting a Cassidy.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you guys kind of see it? Because what's Jangles doing right now? Do you see their Ana?
Yeah, he's got two people dealing with him while the rest of our team kind of...
So, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what's going to happen. Watch it. I'm betting the farm. You see the Ryan? Look at that Reinhardt. Look at that Reinhardt. We're down 1 and this guy's about to die. Right? Good? Yep. It's messy, but it's good. Now, Jangles got to keep calling here because what's the problem right now? Because our team play is falling apart.
Getting collapsed on.
Right. Jangles they're saying this Symmetra is brain dead. Symmetra shouldn't be flanking. Symmetra should be with her team, right? They're the plat brains, right? So, but they're right if this is what my front line looks like. What should my front line be doing right now?
Shoving.
Why?
Towards Jangles to group up with him.
Right.
Get him with him.
Because who's putting attention on Jangles right now? You know what I'm
saying?
Everybody. So here's the question. When we tie this back in with communication here, who needs to be calling this?
I do.
Jangles needs to be calling this. What does Jangles need to call? Let's see what Jangles
I have
says.
a Reaper on me. I need help. I remember
not
to
just
start
a Reaper,
screaming top of his lungs.
But Lucio, Reaper, Cass, come here, right? And sure enough, it's late. It's not good, and it's not perfect, but it's okay. So Jangles is gonna die. Are we gonna get our revenge though?
No.
Kind of. Guys, we're so close to getting more than 1 kill there, you know, and getting that. And honestly, maybe even saving Jangles with a lamp, right? So when we talk once again about communication, what was the communication failure here?
Me not saying it enough.
Correct. That's it. Jangles. That's it. So don't be like, it's really easy to kind of be like, you know, we all need to be calling more, you know, and I agree. But in each specific situation, you need to know your responsibility and you need to call. That's it. You need to call. So then now at this point in time, it's like, can we keep our composure? Can we group up? Help me. Oh my goodness. Okay. What must we do right now? You see it?
The Reaper. Again,
right? Reaper. We got to push. We got to either push that Reaper or we got to trade somewhere else. If we don't, it's too late. Probably the fight. Yeah, that's it. Okay. You know, overall, pretty decent push. Let's wrap back up with our pre-fight calls now. So, let's say, again, our ult tracking is accurate here. What's the play here? Let's bring back in our numbers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got Death Blossom, you got Cass, you got Shatter. What do you guys think?
So our Ryan was he was definitely like, you've got Blossom, I got Shatter, let's go.
So what's the
which number all is about it?
It's 1.
Yeah, could be 1. Could also be 3, right?
Could also be 3 with the Reaper on a flank.
It could be. Sure could. Because that's going to turn... Ryan's going to get confused, right? Maybe Ryan tries to shatter that Reaper, then you shatter him. There's all sorts of juice here. So I don't give a rip what you guys want to do. Let's just make it look pretty. Now, they might do it to you too, but ours is going to be better. What's happening here? Did somebody get bad spawn? Yeah, I mean, even here, right? What's the failure here, right? Or what do we need to be careful about, right?
Our Ryan's up.
Right, so who should be calling here?
Back for me, and Ryan, I don't think we called. I think Jangles called to TP me, but our supports fell back with him for some reason.
Yeah. So we need to be saying, you need to be saying dibs. Yeah. I'm not there, right? And if Chupapi doesn't listen, is that Serrano?
Yeah,
it's Serrano.
Yeah, Serrano doesn't listen, then okay, GG's. You know, that's the fault. But if you are not calling it, then that's your fault. You guys get what I'm saying? If you're not making the call, it's your fault. If it's not being listened, then it's not your fault. Never, ever, ever let it be your fault. Be perfect. Okay? That's the goal here. But you guys are noticing how much of this is on your DPS, you know, because those are the guys that are taking angles, taking flanks, or just coming back from spawn. Okay, let's see. Because the problem is I want to push now, but my Ryan's not. That's not healthy. Sim wall. Okay, we're gonna walk off of that. Ah, you see this? This is just depressing. Look at our setup, guys. It's not opening with the symbol. The symbol is a great opener, but look at our setup here. You see it? Are 5 people fighting?
No.
Not honestly 2. Maybe you're Bap and Symmetra. Ryan, Reaper, Lucio to an extent, just checked out, right? It's just terrible, right? So I don't know if you guys again remember this, but what was the call here? Do you guys remember the call?
I think this was one of the moments where we went quiet.
Yeah. And it's a disaster because it's really just simple. What's the call here? Who needs to call this?
I feel like just the way the position is right now, this should actually be Ryan's call.
Okay. Or Jingles, you want to let it rip, right? You want to press Q. So what do you say?
Let's go on Ana. Let's go in the back.
Yeah, I just say I want to ult. Can we push? Can we push? Even just can we push, right? I'm going to ult, right? Anything like that. That's it. Put the impetus on somebody to say yes or no and then just go, right? But this is like you said, this is where we go quiet potentially, at least it's what it looks like, and you know, the team play falls apart. But this is inexcusable given what we've seen earlier. And do you see how little you guys get out of that symbol? I mean, we talk about powerful ultimates. That might be the most powerful ultimate in this matchup if it's played well. Very difficult to play around. And so, like, I honestly see. I don't even want to watch the rest of this fight because yes, we'd be like, oh yeah, you're Ryan. You know, he played selfish with Shatter. Then they played selfish with Shatter. We get a nice combo. But like, I don't even care. You guys had to use 1, 2, 3 ultimates when really just 1 or 2 would have been fine. You know, it's rough. And it's such a little thing too. Guys, let's push. 3, 2, 1. I want to ult. That's it. That's all. Okay. Ult track plan. Dibs. You don't got an ult, but you're gonna make the plan for us. What's the plan?
We can window on their engage on bridge, maybe.
Yeah, works for me.
Considering they have both DPS ults and close to an nano mid fight.
Sure. What about you? You frontlining? You flanking? What do you think?
Probably staying with my tank since my other DPS wants to flank.
Okay. Jingles? What was the logic here? Do you like this angle? Do you like this high ground?
I do, because the only 2 people that can really get me at this moment that I'm aware of is the McCree and the Ana, because they've got range.
Reaper
and
TP.
Yeah. Oh, I know. He comes. He
Okay,
comes. You called it.
I actually think this play is fine, but I would probably let you get here a little bit sooner. So it's more of a micro thing, but yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this here as long as we all know what the play is here. The problem here we have to be really careful though is again, Jingles. Again, what should you be screaming? Right. Here we go again.
Push,
oh no,
push.
cause oh no.
Yep.
Right. That's my only problem with this flank is given that the robot is here and you're here, it might just be a little too far because you are too easy to isolate here, and we can't really push that much.
And they punish me for it.
Yeah, we could maybe BAP window here, but we'd still be missing our Lucio. So I think you're probably dead. Yeah, you're dead. Now, we could have maybe pushed a little bit harder on the Rhine, right? Surely, guys. Surely. Like, gotten a little bit more of the HP. You guys see what I'm saying? So there's still a lesson to learn there. But I do think that was probably mostly an individual error. That was a really nice BAP window. And so good that you guys almost went 4v5. Look at the timing of this window. Watch this in slow motion. Check this. Look at that guy's HP. Look at that. You guys are up 1 and it feels like they're down 1, right? Yeah. That's good. That's good. You guys probably won't win this. But I mean, do you see how stressed this team is now? Look at this. This feels terrible. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. He's one. Right? Look at that. Now, BAP window for B. Is that a good trade? Probably. But regardless, you guys can see, like, even down 1, when you guys just do the little things right, it feels really, really bad for them. That was good. Got somebody in my whispers. What do you guys think? Should I ego or should I respond?
Ego.
Ego?
Ego.
Ego it is. Ego it is. All right, let's take a look here. All right. Well, we got some in a voice channel here. You know what?
I called the Reaper on this. I do remember.
Yeah. All right, Maisted, what should we do?
Me?
Yeah, I don't give a rip if you're a dive tank. What do you think? Because remember, you guys are noticing this, by the way. This isn't just about Brawl, right? It's about dive.
Applies to
right?
everything. Yeah.
Do you notice? Okay, by the way, this is why target focus is sometimes overrated. All right, when you guys were describing Sombra target focus, right? It wasn't just about Jangle's target focus. What else was working really well because Jangles was calling a target?
Everyone going on that.
Right, the timing. You guys get that? The time you guys were always playing as 5 because you guys were always listening at the timing of Jangle's call. Do you guys get that?
Yeah.
Very important that you pick up on that little nuance there. Okay. All right. Let's what do you think, Myson? What's the play?
So I think we've got the Reaper trying to take the flank on Jangles.
Yeah.
So I think a good idea would be Dibs and Jangles TP back on the Ana. And the Reaper will be forced to get off of the flank and go help his Ana while Ryan, Bap, Lucy are able to speed and take space.
Works for me. Jangles, give me a plan. Different plan.
Well, the Reaper's by himself. I say we just won right onto
okay,
3.
I'm sorry. Just number 1. Oh gosh, that's my my 7-year-old brain. We just go pee-pee on the Reaper, right? Exactly. Yeah, I got that. That's exactly what we do. Okay, guys, I'm done. This review is over.
GG.
But yeah, unironically, that would be a great play because you wouldn't necessarily kill the Reaper, but you'd automatically enter the fight at a cooldown advantage because you'd force the Wraith for free. Right? I mean, heck, you could force the Wraith and then beat on top of him and kill him, right? That would also work. All right. Please nobody say number 2. Dibs. Give me a totally different plan. This is a terrible plan. This is an awful idea. I should never use numbers. Dibs, give me an idea. Different idea.
I feel like my only other option, just 4, is either me and Jangles go on the Reaper and let our Ryan Bap Lucia take the 3v, I guess 3v4, or
you could just AFK,
or we just sit here and wait, or you could just go on their Lucio Ryan.
You sure could. You could go like 2 people on the Reaper to guarantee him clear him out, and your Ryan just kind of chills, you know. And then you could either you and your sim take that flank, or you go back to main once you forced him out. You know. That's a good idea. I like that. I mean, really all of these work. I honestly couldn't tell you which one's better.
Mine is the best idea of all time.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. I'm thinking Mystead, if you guys beat engaged, might be the best. Where you guys just basically say, screw the Reaper flank, let's just beat engage, kill their backline immediately. Because that lines up the best with your ultimates. You guys see what I'm saying? Right. You're definitely, someone's gonna die to that Reaper on the flank. I'm quite sure of it. But you guys go into a 1 versus 3 ultimate fight and probably win it. It will be messy, but you'll probably win it. So it doesn't matter though, because all the other ones would work really well too. So instead, we just kind of like use a TP. Like again, we talked about this with TP, right? Can TP used just as a distraction? Yes.
That's all I was trying to do.
Right, but you're off by just not quite my tempo. Okay.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys see? It's not terrible, but it's just a little bit off. When should this TP have been used?
Later.
Like how much later? I'm being super nitpicky.
3 seconds.
Not
later,
even 3 seconds.
Most.
Half a second even. Right now. You see this? Because now what's happening? We're starting, right? The fight's starting. Can you imagine this Cassidy going, number 1 in his pants at this exact same moment as we're walking here, right? It's a disaster, right? So it's just a matter of seconds, or even just 1 second. That's the issue with this play. All right, let's take a look. Looks like we're going for 1. To be honest, I think we just object permanence, I don't want to flame anybody, but you might have the worst support player of all time. Nah, I'm just messing. This is whatever. Like, you guys are going for a 1 push. You guys were approximately kind of trading it. Like, is this 5 people fighting? Kind of ish.
Dibs and Jangles are backing up.
Yeah. It definitely feels a little bit messy here. Like, I think this distance is not like effective range for these heroes, right? So I want to know why weren't we a little bit closer? You guys remember? Was this Nano Rhine scare or what?
I think I was backing up to try to protect the BAP.
Gotcha.
I think I was trying to protect Gaffa because I knew the Reaper was over there.
Gotcha.
And I was almost 100% sure that he had ult.
Got it. Okay, so what's the best way to protect your backline versus a flanking Reaper?
Turrets.
Right. Or
turn on him.
Shoot him.
Everybody.
Or not even everybody, right? Just he's there, guys. Let's shoot him. Because he doesn't have any help, right? This isn't like a tracer with a harmony orb. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot him and he goes away. It's that simple. You guys got me? So I just think there's like a little bit too much respect, and it kind of screws up our timing. Our BAP kind of scuffs the lobby, but in even little things like the teleporter, right? Not good. Dibs, do you remember what you were thinking at this point in time either?
Not entirely. I'm pretty sure I saw, because I was closer up at one point and then just fell back. I'm assuming I seen the Reaper is what I remember the most.
Right.
But I'm not even close for that,
right.
so I have no idea.
It's fine. We don't have to sweat over it too much, but I guess you guys can kind of see the issue here. When it's too easy for them to just, disaster. It's just too easy for them to just take an angle, and we just kind of fall apart. Remember, you guys aren't the only guys that can take angles, right?
Yeah.
We just need to be decisive about what we want to do. Dibs is on a vacation or something. Okay. Yeah. We just need to be decisive about what we want to do. And it's going to be the enemy's job to make being decisive hard. But that's going to be where you're going to be tested. Your mettle, your morale, your discipline. Okay? Now this is cute. Check this out. Reaper on the flank. Guys, let's just get him out. Now I would have liked a little bit of extra help, but it does look like, hey, look, actually, never mind. I disregard that. Look at Lucio. Look at Bat, right? This is team play. Okay? Notice that my Reaper and Ryan are not dropping to the middle of the enemy team just yet, right? Why?
Because we're not full.
We're not full.
Fighting together.
We're not fighting together. We're clearing this guy out first. Okay. Now, I say that. What's the problem here, ladies and gentlemen?
We didn't wait.
We didn't wait. All we needed to do was wait literally 1.5 seconds, and we would have been good to go. No? So what's going to happen to Dibs? You guys got a guess?
You're going to pop like a balloon.
Uh-oh. If I turn around, what am I going to see?
Everybody.
McCree.
Right? The fight started, and Dibs is out. Ouch. It's not complicated, guys. So what's the play here? I assume, I'm gonna give Jingles the benefit of the doubt. This was called. Wait, I'm pushing. Right? And Dibs, I hope to goodness that you were trying to call this. So this is just where it comes down to where the real communication issue is. I'm going to predict that it was probably listening. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it 100% was. Because I remember Jingles calling the Reaper and going for it.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, I think in the moment it was more of a me just wanting to touch thing.
Yeah.
And not realizing that, where everybody was and how it was actually playing out.
Yeah, I get you. There's always a logic behind it. You're thinking, I don't want to get cap, but we had time to give, but it's just a disaster when we actually get set up here. My Symmetra's on the Ana, my Ryan's in, my Lucio's in, and not only is my Reaper out, but my Batiste is also out because he's trying to help my Reaper, right? My BAP should be shooting these guys. My BAP should be shooting these guys or shooting Reinhardt or helping my Symmetra, but my BAP is healing a Reaper who's not even doing anything. You guys got that? So regardless of ult plan here, this fight feels way messier than it had any right to. And so we can look at this in hindsight and be like, oh, we didn't know they had Shatter. But what's the real issue, guys?
We weren't patient.
We weren't patient. It was a 4v5. That's it. You guys can look at how we lost this fight, and how you guys lost this fight started right here. Right here. That's crazy, isn't it? And the reason why this is really important is because it's the simplest answer. You guys got me? It's the simplest answer. It's complicated to go, oh, guys, we forgot that they had Shatter. We didn't group up mid-fight. We got split. Maybe we didn't need to use Lamp. All that kind of crap. That's complicated stuff. I don't like coaching complicated stuff. I like saying, guys, we didn't group up as a unit and push, so it doesn't matter what happened afterwards. You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
That makes it so much simpler to fix because, like you guys were saying earlier, it's a complicated game. You do the simple stuff right, you win the game. That's it. All right, let's take a look here. What are we doing right here? This looks like a 2, no?
Yeah, looks like
a
we're going
2.
for group TP, but 3 people are not in the TP and they're gonna blow it up before it happens.
Yeah. Okay. Disaster, right? By the way, Jingles. If you were to go for a 3 here with teleporter, what's the problem?
The Ana.
Well, the Ana is the person you should be teleporting on, no?
Mm-hmm.
So why is the Ana a problem now? Tricky, isn't it?
Actually, no. I think the problem here is it's not the robot. It's actually the Ryan Lucio.
Okay.
Because they can just turn, and it becomes a very quick 5v or 4v2.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Is a 2 group TP a decent play here?
No.
Why not?
Because it's I mean, I guess you could do it, but then you lose all your frontline pressure.
You could, but your frontline pressure is now on their backline, so there's still pressure, right?
Oh yeah.
There's
Never
nothing
mind.
really.
It's actually a solid play.
Right. There's nothing. I would say so too, especially because you guys are about to give cap, right? Okay. What about 3? Let's say your Symmetra goes for a TP flank on the Ana. That's also a solid play, I would argue. But why does it not work here? Let me ask you a question. Where is this Ana putting her attention right now?
Right on the
On
TP.
Right on
Like
the
they're
TP.
looking for
Why?
it.
Why is this Ana not distracted?
Because there's no flank on her.
Where would this Ana normally be looking?
Up.
Up. Why is she
Towards
not
the-
looking
yeah.
up?
Because
What's not happening up right now?
Not moving.
fighting.
Anything. Nothing's happening up front. It's about to happen, but it's not happening. So the first person, who's the tank here? Is it my Reinhardt or is it my Symmetra? Who's the first person going in here? You see it, right?
It was me.
The Rhine follows, but the Sim leads, and that's the problem. You see, this flank is great. It's just too early. So you got 1-2 people on you immediately, right? And so, yeah, we're winning the Reinhardt trade. I mean, look how much space my Rhine is getting, but I would prefer my Rhine to go first, then TP. You see how perfect a TP would be right now?
Yep.
Yeah, that's something. Okay. Now, I would have preferred the group TP, to be honest with you. I would have preferred number 2. I can't help it. Okay, that's just, anyway.
It's been a really shitty time.
But yeah, exactly. The TP sucked. So, yeah. Regardless, though, you guys kind of see what I'm saying. So, even the micro of how a play is done is very important. The timing of when... Wow, this guy just got launched. Check it.
Holy shit.
Oh wow!
He went somewhere.
He's freaking
He's
gone,
gonna see his-
guys.
Jesus.
He was going for a coffee break.
If I died like that, I would be so mad.
Off the map.
I would be so mad if I died like that.
Wow!
He is gone, man. All right. Yeah. I mean, again, like, we don't have to overcomplicate this. I mean, I respect the attempt here, you know, but it's a 5v4 again, for the exact same reason, just a different DPS. You guys got me? We needed to wait. We needed to time
Also,
it better.
That is like the second time we've used an ult, like a very, very good ult when the fight was already over. We did it with Beat earlier.
Yeah,
and they just did
yeah.
this wall.
I mean, I get it here. You gotta kill. You can put the symbol on the cart. It's very important that you don't give up lead here. But yeah, I think like understanding when a fight is lost. Now, we talk about communication, low-hanging fruit. That is definitely another one that we haven't talked about a lot. And it's something that you guys brought up in your, you know, your priorities, right? Knowing when the fight is lost, somebody calling it, guys, it's over, so go next, right? And I don't know how you guys want to assign that responsibility, if that's something you guys want to work on as a team. If you want to make one designated person, I don't really care. I don't think there's like a hard rule with it. There aren't any rules in communication in terms of who calls what or shot calling. It could be democratic. It could be, it could be one person calling it. It's totally up to you guys. But yeah, I think it is a little bit sad. Oh dear, but what are you doing? Get out, Jangles. You're crazy. Okay.
I got this.
Yeah, easy. 4v1. Or 1v4, rather.
I got this.
Yeah, alright. Let's see it. Let's see it. Do we clear the angle? Uh-oh, we're slow. Oh,
that's good. That's good. That's good.
Look at that.
Oh, okay. We're all up there now.
Oh my gosh. You ever like, you know, like you're like You move in your apartment and like your dad shows up with like every single piece of equipment known to man to like move like your like small little like, Dad, I have a mattress and like one chair. He's like, oh, I got the truck in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, well, this is pretty much what's happening. It does the job, you know. I can't complain. All right, what do you guys think?
I mean, we just walk on the Rhine.
Yeah, could be. What do you guys think about the team play here?
We're playing as a team,
Kind of,
but
yeah,
once again, the DPS are a little bit far back. A little bit.
It's funny, the DPS are both going too fast, too early sometimes, and then lagging behind other times. Interesting. Now, that's not an irony. That's pretty much expected. If your DPS are not able to consistently communicate with your tank and are not listening consistently, then this is what's going to happen. They're going to be in different wavelengths. And I wonder why it felt so good when you had your DPS clutching yesterday. Right? Ouch. That has to be the saddest moment for that Reinhardt's entire career. Honestly, at that point, I would quit. I would go into like Webkins or something like that. I'd be done. That is just disastrous. How does he not even... How do you not die? What? Okay,
I killed the Lucio with a window shot.
Wait. Did we pop a shift as we get shattered? Yeah, see? The shift is still ticking.
Oh,
the shift is ticking, so we get swing 1, but we're healing. You see that? We're healing. And our Lucio is also on heal song. And so 3 swings would have killed 3 of you. But it ends up not. That being said, relatively decent timing. Like we said, DPS are still a little bit lagging behind. All right, guys. I know we're out of time, but you guys got a few more minutes. I would like to finish this map if possible.
Yeah.
Right. Let's
this is the last push, by the way.
Okay, perfect. Well, we got time then. This is going to be legendary. Hanzo SWAT. Now, Hanzo's a weird one because you don't have to necessarily push. You could kind of just hold an angle and peek. Unless you're like going on a crazy flank, you're really just going to be listening to like when the push calls and then looking to go a little bit more aggressively. So you might be like, I play more passive as Hanzo, but you still play more aggressively off of your Reaper or off of your Reinhardt or off of your Lucio calling beat push. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Heck, if you guys remember, we talked about this with spam. If you have your Sigma and you're playing a spammer calling every single time he's peeking with shield, that could be a great time to peek as a sniper because they've got a shield they got to break, right? And so they're not looking for you. You guys see what I'm saying? Everything about this is important. So Reaper's clear. That's awesome. I beg for us to press W here. You see the problem here, right?
We're sitting back there while our Reaper tries to make
So whose fault is this?
Depending on if Dibs called it or not.
When does Dib need to call it?
Before it happens.
Right. Like now at latest. Preferably a second or two before now. Because the problem is Dibs could be going like, push, and we're like, hello? Right? Now, my heart says that that's what happened. I don't know if it did, but it's good to know. You guys get what I mean? So, has to be prepped. Because we need time here. Like look at how much HP you have done to these poor sucks. Like, these guys are getting, like, smoked. And yes, faster, right? And that's it. Like, we don't need to overthink it. I think you guys lose this, surely. I don't know, maybe Jingles just pops off.
Yep.
Both Reapers just got paid off by the enemy team, I think. That's because, like, look at this poor Ryan. He's like, I'm gonna go in. Aw, crap, right? You know, it's too late. He's gonna shatter, isn't he? Oh, no. Anna? Yeah, maybe you guys get out, maybe. Oh, unlucky. Run, Jingles, run. I think you guys are okay. I think, oh my gosh.
God, everything is going wrong right now.
What is going on? We're absolutely losing it right now. Yeah, that one was not great, right? Okay to just stabilize there and wait for your team. Okay, well, we're in a little bit of dire straits here. You see, here's the funny thing, guys. I want you guys to pay really close attention to this trade here. Is your Rhine feeding right now?
Yeah.
How so?
His team isn't back yet. They could like easily just collapse on him if they wanted to.
He has 1,000 shield.
I mean, yeah, but if they just walk on him.
But okay, so you fell into my trap right there. I activate my trap card. You say he has 1,000 shield, but you know how much shield he's going to have by the time your Reaper gets there? Let's watch.
None.
You got away with a lucky, and he's still missing 400 shield. And your Ana had to defensively nade. And he had to give up the corner. You guys see it? And for what?
Yeah.
For nothing. For
There were
nothing.
also, I feel like he should have died there. They were like respecting the shit out of him.
I think so too. It's a best case scenario just happened, and you guys still lost the resource trade. And why? Because your Reaper wasn't back from spawn. That's it. That's the fight. Like, your Hanzo's there, Reaper's not. And so what is your Ryan can't even swing here. Oh my gosh. I see. This is the classic Reinhardt, you know? No respect, and it just presses the Q button. Easy one. Okay. Now again, what's the issue? Somebody didn't call when they were back from spawn. That's it. That's the fight. That's why it felt as bad as it did. Crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Dibs and Jingles are here, though. I'm glad you guys are here. Because I think, like, you guys are seeing, like, when you are the one making plays, taking flanks late from the fight, it is up to you to be making the call. Okay?
Yep.
Let's see. Good. Good. Now, the way that we play here, are we fighting as 5 right now?
No.
You sure? Look carefully.
Wait, actually, yes. Yes, we are.
You see it, right? You see it, right? We're on different heroes. We're on Hanzo. We're on Ana. But is my Ana doing something right now? Yes.
Yes.
Is my Hanzo doing something right now? Yes. Is my back doing something right now? Yes. You guys catch me, right? We don't have to be grouped up. Remember the Symmetra and Spawn stuff, right? That's just this is a different look. We are fighting as a team right now. You guys should be very proud of this. This is great. It is not an accident that Reaper dies. He gets crossfired. He gets shot out from a million different angles. Right now we're in a million miles apart, so we got to be really careful. But probably will work. Are we fighting as 5 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Looks good to me. Ah, let's go.
Yep.
That was definitely intentional. All right, let's go.
Oh, it was
That was a
intentional.
really
they were
good
like, we're
fight,
going to nano the
actually.
map.
That was a really clean fight.
It was a clean fight. You guys set up some knife crossfire. You were able to keep control of Robot. You nano to keep the fight. Like, you didn't let it get out of control, right? I think it's okay to use an ultimate in that circumstance here. Okay,
And
let's see.
holding up close here is really good.
Yeah, holding up close is good.
Oh, no,
well, okay,
Jangles.
Well, holding up close here
no.
is good because how many people are peeking right now?
I mean, everyone can see down the.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, are you sure? Look very carefully. Who is trolling the lobby right now? There's one person.
The soldier.
Nope.
See Ana.
On your team. Your
Oh,
team.
on our team, it's Dibs.
Dibs. Right. Dibs is not contributing. Where's
He's pushing the bot, bro. He's
Right,
doing
we
the
only need one to
necessary.
push.
Okay. Right. But your
it was
Ana's
a
pushing
joke.
the bot.
It was sarcastic.
Right. I got you. So Ana's got the bot. Where should Dibs be?
I think me and Dibs should trade.
I'm down for you guys. Honestly, Jingles, yeah, a little bit close for sure. But honestly, here, I don't give a rip, right? I don't care. Here, I don't care, right? Guy's just aim hacking now. Uh-oh. You guys see it, right?
Yeah.
No bueno. I mean, I get it. We're up 1, right? But even then, you still got to be careful. Now, maybe this dragon bails you out. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it does. But you guys can see how ugly that almost was. Just the minorest of details, and you guys almost completely trolled it. That being said, you guys can see how, like, even in these range spam comps, the importance of the team play there. Everybody fighting as 5 was so important. Because all this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's tie this up into a bow because we need to kind of synergize this with the specific issues that you guys are having. And I'm going to start typing here. All right, so goals, right? If you guys go into scrimmage tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next week, whatever, give me a couple of goals that you guys could work on.
Playing as 5.
Playing as 5 is the goal. So how do we get there? From what you guys saw today in the Brawl comp, what was stopping you guys from playing as 5? There's a couple different things.
Not being patient.
Who?
The team
DPS.
not waiting on specific people to come back.
DPS Ryan need to wait for people to come back from spawn / people from spawn need to call to wait. Now it sounds so stupid that you guys devote an entire scrim block where we focus on making sure that we wait for each other to group up coming back from spawn. But you know what? Break the habit and you never have to do it again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that ever happen. All right? What else? What else was causing our playing as 5 to fall apart? That was one of the coming back from spawn. Where else did we mess up our timing?
DPS engaged too quickly and then hung back whenever the fight started.
Engaged too quickly, then hung back when Ryan engaged. Fixing our communication, listening between our Ryan and our DPS. You guys got it?
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, it's both. So we need Ryan and our DPS to actually figure that out. Dibs, Jangles, that's on you guys. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that stood out to you guys?
I'd say I feel like it falls under what you just said, but the proper fight plan, communicating consistently, saying, hey, I want to go, can we go? Can we push? I want to use ult.
Proper fight plan. Track ults, pick what we want, pull the trigger.
Go.
Right, that's it. Now you guys can use the 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys can abandon that like the abomination that it is. I don't give a rip.
No,
you guys
we go number 2 every time.
Yeah, number 2 every time. It's gonna be really explosive, guys. So whatever you guys want, I don't really care. It's up to whatever works better for you guys. And but the main thing is you guys can kind of see whether it was a flank with a Reaper, a flank with a Sim, Lucio helping Ryan, Lucio helping DPS, a push with Sim on the front line, a pushing out the Reaper on the flank first. It really didn't matter what you guys wanted to do as long as we had the synchronization, the timing. I guess if anything, it's remember playing split is okay / taking angles even in Brawl as long as the web of connection of timing isn't broken. That's probably the most complicated, most horrific way I could have described it, but you guys get it, right? The connection has to be there. Everybody has to be. We could all be in a million different places at once, but we're all on each other's timing. And whether that's a sim flank, I don't give a rip if you guys flank shatter, roll with it, right? But you gotta call for each other. I think one other thing I would say is if someone is on an angle, they have to be vocal to keep timing. You guys remember when our Symmetra was on the flank? Do you remember when our Symmetra was on the flank? Remember what was the issue there?
There was the timing was off.
Right,
and then
timing
they
was
would
off.
just get pinched on.
Right. So our Symmetra would take a flank. We wouldn't be able to communicate okay, we're on the same page. We're all together as a unit. And somebody would get left behind. We'd be oh, well, I guess our Symmetra's just dead. Or something would goof up from there. That can't happen, right? If you're the one on the angle, scream if you're getting pushed. If you guys are on the core and your angle gets pushed, right? Let's say they pushed Ryan. They're oh, Symmetra's on the flank. Let's push Ryan now. What does that mean for you, Jingles? What do you think?
If they're gonna leave me alone, I just pinch.
Right. You guys get it? So whoever's not getting ignored gets the clutch. And it just depends on the circumstance about who that is. But you guys kind of see that, again, the solution is just communication. It always comes back to communication and being communicating with each other's splits. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any questions? I know we talked about a lot, but any questions?
Nope. It all kind of
Okay.
I think I got everything.
makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now I hope you guys understand a little bit about why your Brawl comps probably haven't felt as good and why the other day DPS dive felt so good, right? It wasn't just the target focus, it was the communication, and it was the timing, and it was just keeping things basic. So to keep things simple, pick one thing to practice at a time. Don't try to do all this at once. Probably the biggest mistake that you could make. Just pick one thing that you think is most relevant. Like, let's say you guys are playing a lot of Brawl matchups, Brawl mirrors. Practice picking which, like, fight play you want to go for. Let's say you guys are playing, like, a super, like, angle, dive, flanky comp. Practice keeping communication between all the flanks lined up. If you guys are playing, like, Reaper May or Reaper Sam, and you just practice making sure that your DPS and your Rhine are, like, on the same timing. You guys got me? Whatever you guys want to practice, whatever you guys feel like would be the most useful on a map, on a match. Heck, you guys could practice a different call or a different like focus for each map within a scrim. It's whatever works for you guys. It's totally up to you. Key thing is just to keep it fresh, keep it focused, be very specific, keep it simple, and then just be patient. No questions.
I do have one question.
Yes.
So specifically, one thing I noticed on one of the maps yesterday is when Dibs and I would go in, yeah, we were good, but we would take the same route as flankers, because I know some maps you can't exactly do multiple routes.
Right.
So I know that flankers do best for pinching.
Yes.
Like multiple angles. So what's just a good way to help diversify the flank pinch?
Yes. So you're saying that you ran into enemy flankers, or you guys?
No.
You guys ended up on the same angle.
Yeah, we were on the same angle. So specifically, we were on Numbani, and we were at the small health pack on first point, and we were both like pushing where the healers.
Oh, the high ground.
Yeah.
So on that bridge. Oh, geez, that's brutal. To be honest with you, that's a very map specific problem. Normally you won't have that issue as much. That's just Numbani first point sucks. Respectfully.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. To be honest with you, what you can do is sometimes it's okay for you to be on the same angle. The other thing that you can kind of remember is that each of you guys has like different strengths. Like for example, Sombra can stage anywhere she wants. For example, she could take that mini health pack flank really easily without being scouted, no problem. But for you as a tracer, you're like, well, crap, I get scouted like 24/7. However, you can close the distance on angles like really fast. So all right, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna stream really fast. Give me 1 second. So this is like literally worst case scenario, because you just described like the most miserable map in the history of the universe. So,
sure.
It's at the top of my list of like maps to do the Gibraltar. You know, the little rework they did. I hope they do this with Numbani. So what we can think about is like, okay, so Sombra, I can set up wherever I want. Genji's got verticality. With Tracer, you might do something like this. Like, okay, geez, you might come like here. 3, 2, 1, Sombra calls, you blink out here, right? That's something that Tracer can do. Like you can hide and be like really quiet, bang, bang, right out this way. You could also do our play number 3. Was it play number 3? Crap. No, 4. Where you could go like underneath and then listen for your Sombra's call and then take this flank and shoot whoever's up here. Shoot a totally different target, but at the same time as your Sombra. You guys get me? Heck, you could do point pressure. You could take an angle over here. I mean, it's ugly either way. But if you're struggling to like take flanks, basically, like without stacking on top of your other guy, really think hard if there isn't another flank that you could take or another like angle that you can set up with your hero strengths. Like even think about this Reaper and Symmetra, right? They have vertical mobility, so that creates options for you. Or just stack. Like it's not the end of the world if you guys are on the same angle. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions, y'all?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
A lot of good information.
Okay, yeah. Well, the key team thing is there's a lot. So, if anything, like you guys sit on it, stew on it, you're like, oh crap, like I forgot to ask this, or actually, you know what? I feel like I really don't quite understand what he meant here. Like I feel like we're having a hard time like executing on that. Just message me. You guys can message me anytime, and I'll get back to you. But yeah, good luck with.